should happen to them. Well, I'm not like that, thank God. And I got hooked into this bodybuilding thing very, very early in life, 11 years old. I've never come off it. And one of the things I have learned along the way is that the worst poison is hate. And I'm talking about poison to you is hate, is animosity, is resentment, and all those kind of things. What I do, and what keeps a lot of fun for me, and one or two guys, Leo Clark, I've gotten to know Leo Clark very, very well, and I know he has his detractors. I don't give a damn about the detractors. I have found Leo Clark quite an interesting character. A man who sticks to his word. You may not agree with what he's doing, especially if you're on the opposite side of the fence. And I am not aware of things about Leo Clark that would cause me to, I'm not saying the man is perfect, I'm not aware of them. But I hear the detractors, and I hear people saying things about people all the time without a shred of evidence and whatnot. I'm not into that business. But it's something that we talk about all the time, this business of not, and Compton said it, John Compton said it on this program. You've got to differentiate between enemies and political adversaries. And if you cannot decide between what is a political adversary and what's an enemy, you're in deep trouble, as Von Lewis. So, you know, and that is something I discuss so often with Leo Clark, especially over the last few days. So I was going to make a point on that. It'll come back to me. You know, I have no notes, so it'll come back to me. So I forgot the point. But as I say, note. Oh yes, Leo Clark says to me, you know, I finally figured out what you're about. You know, you play chess with the politicians and the whole political thing. Of course, he didn't take too kindly to that, because a lot of the things Leo Clark took very, very seriously, I was playing chess with it. When I watched Earl Bousquet doing his act, you know, and the statements and what they write, and I watched other idiots, educated idiots like Irvin Reed, and reading his columns, losers, you know, all these guys think they're clever, singing for supper, totally off key, you know. I just look at these guys and I figure, well, you know, not equipped to play. Not equipped to play. So the result is Rick Wynn caused the Labour Party to lose the elections. A very good friend of mine today, party friend, a political guy, said to me, Rick, people are saying you caused the Labour Party to lose the elections. I caused the Labour Party to lose the elections. How the hell can I do that? The Labour Party had millions, obviously, apparent millions anyway, on their campaign. I didn't spend a cent on a campaign against the Labour Party, and I caused the Labour Party. I'm a scapegoat, whatever it is. I have never taken my wars, I call them wars inverted commas, with Kenny Anthony seriously. I've never taken my wars with John Compton seriously, and it's obvious. Like I said before, there is not a politician that I don't communicate with. And if there are one or two that perhaps I don't communicate too much with, it's not because I hold any animosity or bitterness to them. It's because I just think, oh, it's a waste of time. There's nothing going on there. Like Von Lewis, you know, Braff, Winston Springer. What are you going to do with these guys? You know, it's like a snail, a shell, and a scum. You know, it's a snail. You know, the snail crawls, it leaves the scum on the ground, on the floor. So you decide which of these three guys is the scum, which is the snail, and which is the shell. And you move on, but no animosity. Okay, enough of that. I did not cause Labour Party to do that. So, but let me tell you about this little bit there. I sat there, and let me say this, by the way. People have been calling me, phoning me, stopping me. Rick, why were you so sad? Didn't you like the election result? And all kinds of questions like, didn't you feel well? That wasn't my show. This was Timothy's show. And I answered questions when Timothy asked them. And I wasn't going to be starting, you know, doing my act on Timothy's show. So that's number one. Number two, what was taken for sadness, I suppose there was a little bit of that there. But really it was a lot of reflection. I kept thinking, you know, especially when Frederick's result came out. Because I had privately decided for myself that if Frederick, in the circumstances, won that election, it would be proof, more proof, that Kenny Anthony was in for a bad night. And why do I say more proof? Because you might recall at the by